It's a big year in the Duggar family when it comes to new babies, and the most recent to announce a pregnancy is already showing. While sharing photos of her Arkansas snow day this week with her daughters, Hannah Duggar showed off her growing baby bump now that she's expecting her third child. She looks too cute. Hannah shared her snow photos on Instagram earlier this week, showing daughters Brinley and Brielle playing in the snow, writing that their day was snow perfect. Well, Brielle wasn't a huge fan of the snow unless I was holding her, but Bryn thought it was so yummy, and both girls absolutely loved chewing on the snowman's nose. She wrote in her caption, "Overall, a fun time was had by all." Swiping to the final photo in her post, we can see Hannah cradling her baby bump with a gorgeous backdrop of snow behind her. Hannah and Jed announced their pregnancy in December, sharing a photo of their family all bundled up outside while holding a pair of baby booties. "Life with our little girls has been wonderful, and we are so excited about adding a third little girl to this group late next spring," she wrote in her caption when sharing the happy news. It's going to be a busy year for welcoming new babies in the former reality TV family. Not only did Jed and Katie already welcome twin girls earlier this month, but Jinger is currently expecting her third child, too. When Hannah and Jeremiah's third baby girl arrives in a few months, they will definitely have their hands full, because their oldest daughter, Brinley, just turned 2 on Christmas Day. They'll be parenting 3 kids under 3, definitely not a challenge for the week. It's a good thing that they both come from big families. If anyone can handle this, it's those two. Jinger Duggar opened up about what it was like following her family's modest dressing rules while doing the TLC group photo shoots. "Getting everyone in something they wanted to wear was always a little challenging," Duggar, 31, said on the January 22 episode of her and husband Jeremy Vuolo's self-titled podcast. "I was always a little nervous about that, because I didn't know what wardrobe they were going to choose, so that's something where I was hesitant going into it." While Duggar, who is one of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's kids, starred alongside her family on 19 Kids and Counting, the brood would participate in promotional photo shoots alongside some of TLC's other biggest shows at the time, including Sister Wives, Little People, Big World, 90 Day Fiancé, and more. Jinger explained that while on set, the wardrobe team would provide clothing they picked out for the reality stars. According to Jinger, they would try to choose things they thought you would typically choose for yourself. They had all of the very Duggar-style wardrobe, so it was more like Old Navy, probably even some Walmart clothes were in there, very chill, very streamlined Duggar style, she reflected. "They had our whole wardrobe, and then they'd have someone else's on the side." While there were plenty of options to choose from, Jinger claimed that the size options would vary. She recalled one instance where there was a dress that was about 2 sizes too big, and she needed to get it pinned to fit her. The wardrobe team would also hide their makeshift tailoring attempts by having Jinger wear a jacket over the dress. Jinger also shared that the wardrobe team had fact sheets for her and her family that included their photos plus sizing information. However, there were some stylists who were unaware of the Duggar family's rule that women could not wear pants. Jinger later added pants to her wardrobe after tying the knot with Vuolo in 2016. "A couple of them didn't realize we didn't wear pants," she said, but noted that the network never tried to get her to wear anything that wasn't her style. Jinger also claimed that wardrobe would return the clothing items after the photo shoot. However, if someone wanted to keep a clothing item, they would occasionally let you keep an outfit depending on the cost. While the fashion aspect of the photo shoots was a struggle for Jinger, she did enjoy getting to see other members of the network that she typically would not. Jinger compared getting the other shows together to a circus. "Most of the time, we were separated. They tried to give you your own space, so you wouldn't run into other people," she reflected. "In hair and makeup, or in wardrobe, or when walking outside of your tent, you could see people you knew." Jinger got her reality TV start in 2008 when 19 Kids and Counting first premiered, with the original title 17 Kids and Counting. After 19 Kids and Counting ended in 2015, Jinger joined the spin-off series, Counting On, which ran until 2020. Jessa Duggar spent more than a decade in front of the reality TV cameras, and now, 5 years after Counting On ended, she doesn't seem eager to go back. Duggar and her husband Jeremy Vullo talked about the possibility of a reality return on the January 22 episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast. The 19 Kids and Counting alum thought about it, but admitted she wouldn't be able to recapture the nostalgia of the past. "I don't know. I don't think so," she said. "Not right now. Not in this season of life." She qualified that by saying that if she were to do another reality show, it wouldn't be following every aspect of life, as Vullo put it. Duggar added, however, that she does miss some aspects of reality TV. "For all those years you have the sweet memories of traveling and stuff, but it's not all the same," she said. "Because you wouldn't have your same film crew, you wouldn't have your same people you're working with. And you're not filming as a larger family unit, so there's lots of things that would feel so drastically different if you did a show again." The sixth of 19 Duggar kids in the TLC reality franchise, Jinger first rose to fame in 2008 when the show, then called 17 Kids and Counting, premiered. She later appeared in the spin-off series, Counting On, which ran from 2015 to 2020. Now, she and Vullo share 2 kids with a third due in March. Vullo, a former professional soccer player, is now a minister. The couple co-wrote a memoir titled, The Hope We Hold, Finding Peace in the Promises of God, in 2021, and appear content in having closed the reality TV chapter of their lives. Vullo compared it to the end of his soccer career. Though he competed in MLS for the New York Red Bulls, and then in the now-defunct NASL, he stepped away in 2014 to focus on ministry. "It was a chapter," he said. "It closed and I went, yeah, that's done. The Lord's led me in a different direction." He empathized with Duggar's sentiment about it not being the same, adding that it's good to have a healthy break from one chapter to the next. "Otherwise, you're constantly living in the past," he said. "And if there's too much nostalgia, it can lead to this depression, because you're thinking, man, I'll never get that back, or I'll never have this opportunity again." Jessa Duggar and Jeremy Vullo's latest podcast appearance is gaining the couple a lot of side-eye from their critics. After they both appeared on Matt and Abby Howard's Unplanned podcast last week, some listeners noticed that Jeremy seemed to forget one of his daughter's ages. And that's not all the only detail he seemed to forget about when it came to their family. While posting about Jinger and Jeremy's podcast appearance on Reddit, one critic wrote that Jeremy wasn't exactly up on the finer details of those who are close to him, including his own kids. Fairly early on, Jeremy makes it clear he doesn't know how old his kids are, the Redditor wrote. Jinger mentions the new baby and Evangeline, their younger daughter, will be 4 years apart. Jeremy seems surprised and says, "Will it really be 4 years?" To which Jinger answers that Evie just turned 4. So somehow Jeremy forgot how old she is, even though they literally just celebrated her birthday. Though it was less egregious, there was another slip-up that Jeremy made during the podcast that stuck out to the family's critics. He couldn't name all of Jinger's siblings. He literally forgets a third of the siblings and messes up the order by sibling 2, lol. The original poster noted. One commenter called Jeremy pathetic for not being able to name all of Jinger's siblings, writing, "He doesn't care. She's his wife now, so her family doesn't matter. He's so full of himself despite the fact that he's not much of a catch." Others were willing to give him a break on that one. After all, he does have 18 brothers and sisters-in-law. I mean, the bar is in hell, but I doubt JB and Michelle could name all the kids in the correct order, so not a huge deal that Jeremy can't, one person wrote. For the record, Jinger and Jeremy are parents to 2 daughters, 6-year-old Felicity and 4-year-old Evangeline. The couple is also expecting their 3rd child, a baby boy. Who knows, maybe the pressure of having to name Jinger's siblings got to Jeremy when he was put on the spot, but forgetting Evie's name does raise a lot of questions.